and welcome back to the HCS Pro League Fall 2017 season. Elamite and T2 at the Xfinity desk, getting ready to bring you the last and final match of the regular season. And that's going to be Evil Geniuses going up against Ronin. Now, before we jump into that, let's take a quick look at the clip of the week here. Some gameplay provided by none other than Shotzi here. Let's go ahead and roll that clip. So we're seeing Shotzi and crew. So that's Splice Gaming going against Optic Gaming. And this clip is pretty insane, Tom, if I must say so myself. Because
you've seen it already?
I have seen this
Spoilers. Already. All right, takes down Lethal with the first kill.
Lethal was going for that plasma pistol shot on the OS player.
What do they say? Damn, you're good. Is that what
yeah, basically. Yeah, and you can see
triple.
That was a 39-40
Damn,
game
you're good.
That he just picked up that overkill on. So just absolutely insane. You can see Shotzi, the Optic Slayer there, and even doing a body melee at the end of that clip to assert his dominance.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, after you get the overkill extermination, kind of difficult to go and get that exterm in such a short amount of time. So all those kills happening very, very quickly, but you can just see the map movement coming into play right there. A lot of thrust slides. Shotzi, better than anyone, utilizing the map to his advantage. If I had to say, like you said, Renegade, Frosty is up there as well. On the Envy side of things, got to give it to Mikwin, who's got his ridiculous map movement as well. But these guys, you can really see from the previous Pro Leagues implementing that, grenade, YY mechanic, all of the thrusts, all of the great mechanics Halo 5 has for you guys, really putting it to work right there.
Yeah, absolutely. But like we said, our last and final match of regular season, Evil Geniuses going up against Ronin Esports here. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of a deeper look at Evil Geniuses, the team that's been predicted to win by everyone but Hoaxer here. And that's going to be Lunchbox, Roy, Tapping Buttons, and Falcated here. So Evil Geniuses used to be one of the most dominant squads we've had in Halo, with Lethal on the squad, with Ogre 2, with Pistola. I mean, Lunch and Roy, they've pretty much gone through almost every single player in the league on that team, other than like a Snakebite and Royal 2 combination there. But ever since Halo 5, or ever since X Games occurred and they won that gold medalist, they have yet to get it back into their best form.
I thought you were gonna call him Snake Boil. Snake Boil 2.
Snake Boy. I know. That almost just happened, Tom.
Snake Boy.
Snake Boy.
That would be a great tag. But Ronin, obviously, if we haven't touched on it already, Nemesis, the new addition onto this squad. Straight Sick out. Straight Sick's found his team, and they're playing pretty darn well as well. Curious to see how he's going to be able to do in the Legendary Cups as you take a look at Straight Sick at the far end of that Ronin squad. But Evil Geniuses, talking about them, now, you want to get your hopes up if you're an EG fan, but every single time you get your hopes up, something happens in a game number 5, or there's just some major letdown after a huge series win, and like now they sit at 1-5.
Yeah, like they take the very first win of the Pro League, and then you have some big hopes of what they can do in the future, and then they drop 5 straight.
It's unfortunate because the way that they lost those games, where they look so great, and then they come out flat, and then they'll make a huge mistake, or they'll have just some lackluster, individual performance that doesn't seem characteristic from them at all. As you take a look at Tapping Buttons, who has been fairly strong, and remember, this guy was introduced in the Pro League, a lot of players are like, who? Why'd this guy get picked up? There's so many other players. But guess what? Tapping Buttons has done more than hold his own, and there's, a reason that Evil Genius is sitting at 1-5, and it's not, in my opinion, individuals. It's just the whole team falling short in certain instances. Again, the best way to describe it for me is getting over the hump. If they're able to get over the hump, I feel like that's when they're going to really start to shine. I thought that they're going to be able to do it with their 5th, 6th performance and carry that into the Pro League after Atlanta. They did so with that first huge win, but then since getting reverse swept by LG, they have not been able to find their groove.
Yeah, that's a really good point to bring up, because even in that LG series, they took the game number 1, I want to say, and then game number 2, they were down 48 or 49 to 46.
Won that
came
one.
Back and won, and then ever since that comeback game, it's really just been a downhill spiral for them.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because they have the talent and they have the veteran leadership. They have, a great organization and coach behind them as well. So it's interesting to see, how much Evil Geniuses is going to be able to go and put their skill to the test here against a Ronin squad who, again, they're fighting just like how Naventic was fighting previously. They've had a very underwhelming Pro League as well. There is so much on the line here besides just the placing. Again, nobody's going to want to face Optic Gaming here. That's what the #2 seed is. If you're the #7 seed, obviously, you know, the EU teams coming over, it may change the bracket a little bit. I'm not sure exactly how that matches out, but typically 1 will play 8, 2 will play 7, 3 will play 6, 4 will play 5. You don't want to face off against Optic Gaming.
No, you definitely don't want to face any of the top 4 teams here based on the performances you've seen. But let's go ahead and take a look at the series layout, see the maps these two teams are going to be matching up on. Plaza Strongholds, Regret Slayer, Fathom CTF, Empire Strongholds, and True Slayer. Keep in mind, Tom, with Luminosity's win, Evil Geniuses can no longer move up in the standings, but if they lose to Ronin, still a chance they can move down.
Yeah, again, that's the big thing here, is trying to get away from that 7th seed, trying to control that 6th seed. Believe that there's a higher payout for that as well, so a little bit of money up for grabs up in this series. And a lot of, you know, people, when we started playing Halo, we didn't play for the money, Kyle. We played for the respect. And that's the #1 most important thing here, is winning this series because you've had a very poor Pro League and you want to come out here and pretty much just slug the other team in the mouth.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, pretty sure we were playing Halo to break even to attend events back in the day. Obviously, things have turned around quite a bit since then, and we are getting ready to jump into game #1 here of the last match of the Pro League season, and we're starting this one off with Suspector.
Suspector laying down some cover fire across the map on the players pushing on over towards posters. A late push on over towards the yard. Has to watch out for his teammate, and it's weird to see that team nade come in. You would think that that's a strategy that they've ran before, but L-Town, he doesn't die from that team grenade, so not the end of the world, but Suspector does get this shotgun, and we'll see what he's going to be able to do with it. You currently have Yard being captured, but bottom, middle, and Nest haven't been touched quite yet, and Suspector running around, not laying much cover fire down ever since his initial spawn, fighting from flowers on over towards the posters. Instead, he's now flying out for the 2-shot beatdown, which means that these guys want to make a loop push on over to posters and make their way towards Nest.
Yeah, definitely glad he was able to pick up a kill there, because he's kind of been rotating back and forth, not really getting any shots down onto players. As you can see in that kill feed, though, Sabinator, he grabs himself a double kill, and, you know, it kind of seemed like a lot of the players here from Ronin were taken out of the equation to start, but Evil Genius is not really able to capitalize. We can see finally they pick up 2 kills and have a 3rd player with no shields, make that 3 dead here, and we might be seeing everything on the map flip. Roy gets Yard all by himself, bottom mid is captured as well, and now they've got all of Ronin coming off the perfect spawn trap over towards blue.
If Roy only had a grenade, how things would have been changing, and a very weird challenge right there. I understand that he's trying to buy time, but you could just go back and wait for them to go towards bottom middle, and I'm guessing he's hoping that he can come off spawn in time to go and contest these players before they can get towards bottom middle, which is what happened eventually. Just a kind of a weird challenge, and I'm worried for Evil Geniuses that they're going to get too aggressive on over towards Yard, because throughout all of the Pro League seasons, that has been their #1 Plaza problem, is they get setups in Strongholds, they have bottom middle, they have Nest, and they go into Yard. So most Strongholds, more problems. That's the problem going on right now for these guys.
And we're over here on board with tapping buttons as he is rotating around and controlling Nest. And shot in the back immediately has to try to vacate that area. As you can see, Ronin putting a lot of resources over here to securing Nest. So it's a 3v4 situation. Now Shotgun still over in favor of Evil Geniuses, but just as I say that, Roy gets taken out and now Falcated. He's definitely gonna have to play a little bit safer now with this.
Throughout all of this, Suspector was able to get the camouflage. Huge pickup from him. I believe he picked it up right around that 940 mark, so a little bit of delayed camouflage as well. And since they have that time, ooh, Falcade, you can see in the bottom left, gets the shotgun kill on a Suspector who had the camo. So taking out that player now means Sabinator is going to try to rotate and take his position instead. And while that's happening, bottom middle is being captured, so numerous players going to drop in there. Should be an easy reset, and it is coming in from Ronin. And a nice solid assassination coming in from tapping buttons, but they're going to need much more than that, because you saw how clean the execution was on the bottom middle retake from Ronin. They sent a guy over towards Loop, and then the other guys came in towards the cafe. That's something that Evil Geniuses is going to have to do here. They can't afford to give up deaths like that. Tapping buttons going down way too easy to Sabinator. That's when you leave yourself susceptible for a triple cap.
Yeah, absolutely. Falcated, what a big kill there to pick up one in a 2v1 situation. Grabs himself a double kill. So now we're looking at a 2v2 as Roy gets taken out. Tapping Buttons, last player alive over towards Yard. Not going to be able to do anything there. So now we're seeing a lead change here as Ronin answers the call and gets right back into this one. Keeping in mind, this is the very last Pro League games that we're going to be seeing for fall here.
That's true, and Nemesis haven't had a chance to call out his name quite yet in this game. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. His 2 kills going on over to Ronin, and keep in mind, Kyle, in about 20 seconds, that's when the camo's popping up, and guess who got it last time? It was the Spectre, so Ronin going to easily have this time. If they can just get in position with these strongholds here, that's going to spell disaster for Evil Geniuses. Roy, he's been dropping bottom center by himself a couple of times, 2 or 3 times in this game so far, but he has reinforcements this time around. That's going to be all 4 dead for Ronin. Evil Geniuses with the bottom retake right when camo's coming up. Find out if Ogre 2's on top of that time.
Yeah, and we can see just great overall job by Evil Geniuses getting in and securing all 3 strongholds. Looks like they elect to just go ahead and give up the Yard. I like this decision, especially that camo was coming up here. We'll see. Looks like Tapping Buns was able to secure that, gets taking no shields, and is doing everything he can to stay alive. You can see in the kill feed, though, he does get taken out. And wow, what was just a triple cap and all 4 members from Ronin over in Yard, just as quickly a bottom mid flip back in their favor.
Which is crazy because they had the camouflage too. That one was grabbed at 7:32, so 5:32 on your game clock when the next camouflage should be respawning. You should have probably 2 camos popping up here too, so back and forth game in the favor of Ronin right now, and that stick is not going to help things though.
Is that the 3rd betrayal?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but that was a pretty impressive stick when you consider all things.
I've seen more green hit markers than regular hit markers this game, I feel like.
You're the team of the king, Nate, so you tell me.
Yes, it is. But great shots from L-Town. Picks up that perfect kill here. Lots of action happening bottom center. Last shot, Metal here coming out of Lunchbox. Almost able to grab himself a double kill there, but Falcated cleans that one up. Now Lunchbox is on protection duty. Make sure Falcated shields can, in fact, recharge here. So Control has flipped back over. L-Town gets caught out by himself, maybe a little early on that push there, and buys a lot of time here for Evil Geniuses to try to even up the score again.
Quick kill check on both sides. Sabinator with the most kills on the side of Ronin, sitting at 13. Meanwhile, Roy on the other side for Evil Geniuses, sitting at 11 for the most on his squad. Evil Geniuses currently controlling 2 of the strongholds. You can see bottom middle currently under control, Nest under control. They just pushed on the Yard for that triple cap. A lot of players spawning over towards that back wall area for Ronin. That means they're going to be going over towards bottom middle and to Nest. It's up to Evil Geniuses to allow this Nest to go on over to them, but watch the bottom middle, try to get the slays, and then retake the Nest off the spawn.
Ooh, and great last shot there to pick up the kill onto Nemesis by tapping Buns. Listen to the callouts, grabs himself assist. Last 2 players are pushing on him over from the Nest. I like this decision. He wisely backs down, tries to find a new angle. New camo comes up, but a great burn out of L-Town. Basically the only thing he could have done in that situation, and keeps it out of EG's hands.
And what a play from Tapping Buttons, not only to decide not to challenge, but then to run away and take the angle towards top gold as they trade Yard for Nest on the side of Evil Geniuses. But then to go and get a height advantage to go and help burn that camouflage player. Very heads-up play from Tapping Buttons. And now you could see Evil Geniuses, they're starting to rotate and use a little bit more teamwork before. I don't feel like they were pinpointing exactly where the members for Ronin were up until this point.
You can see Tapping Buns. I like the decision to focus on the top gold guys. Another player dropped Driveway, but no help from his team quickly enough, and he has to focus on top gold for way too long. Ultimately gets taken out. Falcated, he's still got the shotgun in his back pocket here. Big win for Sabinator, the double melee. And Evil Geniuses, they elect to just overload Yard, and with that being said, they've got a triple cap here back on the map. Ness is being captured, but only 1 player is over there, so this is a lot of time going on the board here for EG.
One more push here coming out for Ronin. Where do they want to go? They have Nest, so it has to be bottom middle. You see the spawns coming up off the snipe ramp. Another player towards the blue ramp. All they have to do is contest for Evil Geniuses and get a slay. There's 1 slay. Falcated finds 1. Tapping Buttons finds another. Lunchbox finds the 3rd. Nemesis now the last guy alive, and he's not in position. You can't do it by yourself. Evil Geniuses taking game 1. Great showing at the end of that game.
Definitely a great game 1 for Evil Geniuses, and they got to be feeling good about that victory here, taking an early lead in this series. By no means is this one over yet. We'll take a look at the stats here momentarily. Overall, Lunchbox and Roy stepping up here.
Outslayed him by 5.
Yeah, so the Slays definitely going out in their favor. Sabinator having a big game. Most kills, most assists here for his team. Move over and we'll take a look at those strongholds captured. So still in favor of Evil Geniuses here. And this 100-61, so not the biggest victory we've ever seen, but it definitely was just in their favor for the entire game.
Yeah, unfortunately we weren't on L-Town's point of view, but 7-9-14, not the start that he was looking for. And 3 of his kills, Kyle, were perfect kills, which is crazy to think about. Half of his kills, pretty much. He had 7, he had 3 perfect kills. So if he's not landing those perfect kills, who knows how many he would have had overall. But Evil Geniuses, the way that they were able to use tons of teamwork towards that tail end of the game, right when they needed to. A lot of that, in my opinion, having to do with just a very small spree from tapping buttons. Even though it wasn't a killing spree overall, very heads-up play not to challenge that and then get back around to help burn that camouflage. I feel like if L-Town was able to get that camo, they could have got some momentum, and then they would have been eventually retaking strongholds there. So now we move into game number 2. Evil Geniuses, this is what we've been looking for quite some time, is to string together numerous wins and have a clean series. So many of their series, it's up and down, up and down. They've never been able to do it consistently. This could be their series here. It starts with a strong start in game 2.
But a Regret Slayer game type number 2, when you got L-Town on the opposite team, is definitely going to be a little bit of a scary moment, because we've talked about that time and time again. Coliseum and Regret have really been his maps where he shines most effectively, putting up multiple times, breaking that 20 kill mark, which is extremely difficult to do in any Halo team Slayer, because you're picking up almost half of the kills for your team there.
You know what, Kyle, though? You can't spell regret without EG.
Wow. And I'm just done, Tom. No, I'm just kidding here. As we get ready to head into this Regret game type, we're starting once again. Let's do this one with tapping buttons here. We're having a solid game number 1 performance, and he is the player contesting the Plasma Caster here on P side.
Tapping buttons has to get that, but 2 of his teammates have died, so now he's looking around to try to respond to the call. It's able to get that kill onto L-Town, but not able to find the second right there. 3-1 here, and you can see eventually Plasma Caster will go on over. It does actually go on over to Nemesis. We'll find out if he's going to be able to do work with that.
Ooh, and Suspector getting collapsed on by multiple members of Evil Geniuses. Roy will finish off that kill. Ooh, Plasma Caster goes over to Nemesis, who grabs himself a charged up Plasma Caster kill already on a Falcated, who's sitting up there by that carbine. That's a Plasma pistol and pistol shot coming out of Sabinator, who had that phenomenal game number 1 for Ronin, or at least stand it out among the rest of his squad. So power weapon control and map control and score here, 8-2, heavily going over to Ronin.
Not the start that you were looking for if you're Evil Geniuses. Again, we were talking about stringing it together, carrying on the momentum, and that's not what happened here when the score is 11-4. Nemesis still alive with plenty of Plasma Caster left. See what angles he's going to elect to take. Wanted to get towards top center, but fell, so now he's going to have to relocate. Looks like he's going to rotate on over towards the pink side. Try to find out some information, but that hit marker is going to give up his position. Can he connect on the Plasma Caster? Not able to quite yet, and now he's in a vulnerable spot as Evil Geniuses is crossfiring across with the carbine.
Yeah, and we can see Nemesis wisely backs down here, trying to find another angle. He's going to catch first shot on the Falcated, but he gets destroyed. He had the first 3 or 4 shots on that one, Tom, so that is going to be exactly what they need to get back into it. They finish another kill onto L-Town, 15-8, so still a healthy lead, but that is going to be a nice game-changing potential kill.
Wow, ridiculous kill right there. And I was switching over through other point of views, and I just saw Roy give the nastiest strafe on over to Nemesis. Sometimes we talked about it. 4 dead right there from Ronin. Huge plays, individual plays, sometimes fire up the entire squad.
Yeah, I mean, and terrible plays do the exact opposite. When you look at your teammate get the first 3, 4 shots, you look away, and then in the kill feed you see that he died, you just kind of raise your eyebrows like, what just happened over there? And that is not the way you take
And
W's.
they're doing it again. 3 dead now. Nemesis, the last guy alive. Evil Geniuses, where are they going to collapse from? You have the overshield in the hands of Falcated. Lunchbox pushing in over towards the pink side. He has Plasma Caster as well, just completely lighting up Nemesis. I wouldn't be surprised if Evil Geniuses rotates the spawns for a 3rd time.
Yeah, 20-16 now, and wow, what a turn of events, and this is just steamrolling out of control now for them. That Plasma Caster could still be in the hands of Nemesis, controlling pink side, but he just got a little bit too comfortable, and Roy gave him the Allen Iverson, I want to say.
The business.
Broke his ankles.
Broke the ankles, that's for sure. Hit him with the 1-2, buckle my shoe. Now, Lunchbox gonna rotate over, but he gets shot in the back right there. Evil Genius is not covering all angles. Sometimes you gotta make those risky plays though to try to get top center control compared to rotating around towards car side or going up towards P2 side, but sometimes it's a little bit risky, and you saw Lunchbox gets a majority of his shields ripped off, so he's gonna have to reset, refocus here, try to find out where these players are. Can't shoot that into the air, so he's gonna have to try to shoot it against the ground and get the AoE damage, but taken out. I believe that was a green gun combo coming in. Yes, the Spectre. He has the noob combo.
All right, 23-21. Lunchbox is a little bit too tunnel visioned on that player, jumping around and, you know, kind of chases him down, gets killed from behind. I would have liked to see him just let that player go. Either way, his teammates finished off that kill, so just trying to do a little bit too much when you got to sometimes just rely on your teammates.
Now we're all knotted up here, 24-24, Overshield popping up, and you got to give the advantage right now to Ronin because of this guy, Spectre, with the green gun combo. If they are able to get the Overshield, oh! Burn from both sides. So I thought if they're able to get the Overshield, that will be huge for Ronin, but no. Not gonna do it. Evil Genius is gonna hit him with the burn. Big thing to take away from that is both teams have the exact time. So another epic battle gonna happen down towards bottom middle in 2 minutes. Roy just gets completely melted by Spectre over towards top car. Nemesis working with his teammate over, trying to take out, I believe, Tapping Buttons, who's sitting top car, but now Tapping Buttons coming out with the Plasma Caster, giving Ronin a little taste of their own medicine, dropping Spectre. Lunchbox coming in with the cleanup, working with his twin brother, Roy, right there. And now Evil Geniuses, they're getting a little bit of top center control again, and the way that they've been able to rotate spawns, if you're Ronin, you have to be the aggressors here. You cannot allow Evil Geniuses to push your base.
Ooh, and a collapse coming in. 2 players right in front of Lunchbox. Grabs one, an assist on another player. 3 dead here now. 5-kill lead moving over to Evil Geniuses in this game number 2. Keeping in mind, EG did go ahead and take game number 1 already. So this is a very big game for Ronin to come out and take. We've heard predictions from all around. Evil Geniuses, you know, slightly favored, but Ronin, a bold prediction from Hoaxer to take this one.
And he's, you know, pretty close. I mean, game number 1, fairly close. Game number 2 was a slugfest, but Evil Geniuses, they had that great rotation on spawns. They collapsed almost perfectly numerous times. I mean, 3 times we saw Ronin go 3 or 4 dead, and they're doing it again. It's staggered, but it's still a good trade of kills for Evil Geniuses. Nemesis slowing things down just a little bit, finds that double kill. Now Tapping Button's gonna have to relocate, goes on top of the base, but you can see all of his teammates are dying left and right. Killing spree coming in, but he's eventually gonna drop to Nemesis. You can see Ronin, they were down 5, they're bringing it right back here, only down 3 now.
Oh, we are coming down to the wire. 3-kill game is this new Overshield. It's going to be the last Overshield we see here on this Regret. And big battle goes over in favor of Evil Geniuses. Now, it looks like a little bit of a double team there, so you can't point out anything. But 39-42 with Overshield getting ready to spawn here. Plasma Caster still up on the map, and everybody is scared to make moves here.
That's true. Sabinator, what's he going to do with the Overshield, though? That's the big key. He's working with Nemesis, as Nemesis has done numerous times this game.
Oh, here it goes.
Pushing car side. It's going to be a 3-person push. That's going to give a lot of information to Evil Geniuses. Sabinator is going to drop. Nemesis finds 2 kills, though. And that's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Ronin. Make that a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Ronin. They brought it right back to 1 game. So Spectre has to stay alive. He at least gets the trade after all is said and done, but what a tight game we have here in game number 2.
Yeah, this caster's still up on the map here too, so we'll see who ultimately grabs that. We've seen Royal 2 and Pistola both change the outcomes of games using that weapon. So you can see on the sides there, looks like a carbine over to Evil Geniuses, but 2 battle rifles in favor of Ronin here, and nobody's still grabbed this Plasma Caster. Nobody wants to make a move for it.
Well, Ronin has the advantage right now with top center, but what would you rather have here? Would you rather have the 1-kill lead or the positioning? It's a tough spot to be in because whoever gets the initial kill, that's really who's going to have the big advantage, because then they're going to be able to push that numbers advantage. And if it's Ronin, they're going to be in a much better spot than Evil Geniuses, but EG starts it off with a back smack, and that is huge because that means Tapping Buttons can distract for the rest of the squad. Not only does he pick up 1, but he picks up 2.
I would say I want map positioning there because Regret, unlike most other game types, or it's the game type you see the biggest swings when you start collapsing on teams, because you can collapse onto one base, block the spawns there, and then immediately push back across the map. And with thrust, slides, and claimers, you can literally be there within 2 to 3 seconds to kill people off respawn.
How is Roy still alive? I'm shocked that he doesn't get cleaned up, but either way, Ronin, they get the overshield 46 to 47, somehow, magically getting a 1-kill lead throughout all of this. What is the answer for Evil Geniuses? They do not have the green gun. Nemesis has that in his back pocket, as you can see, rocking the battle rifle as well. Great 3-man push coming in from Ronin over towards top car. They pick up 2 kills, looking for the final and 3rd kill onto Roy. Can they make it the 50th one? Roy desperately running away, but Falcated now. He is caught down towards car 1, 50 to 47. Great way to end that game for Ronin.
Yeah, Ronin answers back. So Hoaxer with the prediction of Ronin taking it. We're looking at a best-of-3 series left here with these two teams tied up 1-1. When we take a look at the stats here, we highlighted this player before the game. Tapping Buns having a strong performance. He's the one with the crazy flank and secured himself a double kill right towards the end, top center, with some death grenades as well, but not going to be enough here as Suspector. Most kills, most assists on his team as well. Just big game out of Suspector.
That's what you want to see, helping for 29 kills, only 13 deaths. Ridiculous performance from Ronin, especially again towards the tail end of that game. You saw this the start though. I believe 11-4 was the scoreline at one point. Evil Geniuses did a great job of fighting back, and not only fighting back, 36-30, you could see they were in such a great position, but things started to go south very quickly as soon as they grabbed that last and final overshield, 47-46. Those 2 deaths when it was 46-45. EG had top center control. I can't believe that they were able to get 2 kills on the side of Ronin and then grab the overshield after that. We asked about what would you rather be in, having the 1-kill lead or the positioning. Eventually Tapping Buttons, his double kill, flipped it so Evil Geniuses had the positioning and the 1-kill lead. But guess what? It didn't matter because Ronin goes underneath the bottom of the map, finds 2 kills, gets the OV, sends that great flank over towards the car side, and that's just too much pressure for Evil Geniuses to handle.
Yeah, you could tell Evil Geniuses had a plan there. They kept pushing up and consistently grabbing that plasma pistol, but they weren't able to put it to use. I didn't see Falcon connect on any of those, and if he did, it definitely was not on the overshield player, because you saw Roy and the rest of Evil Geniuses constantly having to just unload ammunition into him to get rid of that shield there. So if the plasma pistol we used a little bit more effectively, might have seen that play out differently here, but nonetheless, like we said, we are tied up 1-1 in a Fathom CTF game number 3.
All right, Fathom CTF. Haven't seen this one yet today. We are going to start this one up any second. Got to get control of that railgun. Got to get control of that camouflage. I'm still fairly shocked on how Evil Geniuses wasn't able to maintain control throughout the end. I would really like to go back and maybe see a replay or see what kind of film that was towards the end. And now you could go up 2-0 in that series, and that's what's so heartbreaking about this Evil Geniuses squad is you could potentially end this series right now in game number 3. Instead, it's elongated. Instead, Ronin's, they have confidence going in their favor. Now Suspector's got it going, and that's the first big game we've seen from him in a while, and he's a very deadly player.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Keep in mind, Suspector, he was on Allegiance 2016 Halo World Championships where they got 2nd place. So that's going to be his highest placing we've seen, but clearly a player that can perform at the highest level here, somebody that has quite the Halo resume in his back pocket as well. So we'll get this one underway here very shortly. Players are getting set up here in the lobby. Tom, Fathom CTF, do you see this going one way or another, at least benefiting either team?
It's tough. Ronin, I'm pretty sure this is one of their solid game types. Evil Geniuses, I can't remember how many times they've played CTF Fathom throughout all of this, but based on what we saw in the previous game, this is going to be anyone's series, honestly. These teams are very evenly matched. Game number 1, we saw so many lead changes already throughout this series. I think much more than we've even seen in the previous games. So I don't know. This is pretty much a toss-up in my opinion. Could be 50-50 or maybe Hoax is right and they do end up playing a little bit of upset alert on the side of Ronin.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very big match for both of these teams here. Evil Geniuses, they need to make sure they secure this victory. They do not want to fall down into that 7th seed here. And Ronin looking to pick up their next win. The only other win coming over against the Ventic here, the 8th seed, our winless team here over the course of this season. So we are looking to get everyone set up here in the lobby, and we will be underway. Keep in mind, series tied 1-1 with only 3 games here left in Pro League should they go the distance.
All right, guys, getting into this one very shortly. And it's exciting to see a little CTF Fathom today because it hasn't been on the board. And I don't think, can we actually pull up the rest of the 5 game types if we could in the back just to see what series layout we have? And there it is. I was curious to see if we did have Empire Strongholds popping up because we didn't see that yet today. And there it is, game number 4. And then if it goes to a game number 5, Truth Slayer. So very interesting ending to this series. Not many weapons, not many sniper rifles, if any, actually. This is the first series I can remember that not one sniper rifle is on the map.
Yeah, that's a really good point to bring up. I don't think anyone from either one of these teams is really known as the best sniper or you know, on par with like the Enviouses and the Optic Gamings here. But all of these players have really solid battle rifles, some great railgun situations, and then with a True Slayer game 5, if it goes the distance there, I feel like you have to put it in favor of Evil Geniuses just because Lunchbox and Roy, the players that have, you know, lived on this map or at least variations of it for almost a decade.
Yeah, and then not only that is, when are they going to finally clutch it up in these final moments? And again, help out these Evil Geniuses fans who were living on cloud 9 after they won the X Games gold medal. But after that, again, it's been a little bit of a downhill spiral, especially after the reverse sweep that happened against LG. So we're having a little bit of problems with the lobby, guys. We're going to get this reset over here. Once we do, we will be starting up this game number 3.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll take a quick little break here as we get the players set up in lobby and make sure everything is situated for the last series of the fall season of Pro League here. So make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in just a minute. All right, and we are back at the Xfinity desk. We've got all the players set up in lobby, and we are ready to get the last match underway. So, Tom, I don't want to waste any time here. I want to get into this game as soon as possible.
Quit wasting our time.
Yeah, we will see how this one plays out, Tom. Nobody's time is being wasted here because we are excited to see the final action here of the Pro League. Can Ronin overtake Evil Geniuses in the seeding, or will Evil Geniuses close this out and secure their spot? We'll find out here. Just 2 games left, potentially 3. Like we said, these 2 teams are tied up, and we are getting into Fathom CTF.
Oh yeah, it is time for Fathom CTF. And you know what? We're already started into the game, so let's hop into this one. CTF Fathom, guys, we are all knotted up 1-1, starting it off, and it looks like it's a Roy point of view with a double kill. He's already got that railgun. Give this man a triple kill, Kyle. This is what happens when Roy comes off the break.
Yeah, Roy definitely refreshed here and was able to get this railgun to open up the game. It's got 4 kills already, including the first triple kill here, and then gets into a 1v1 battle. Nemesis not even able to hit those shots.
Great start here for Evil Geniuses. This is the start they needed in game number 2. Lunchbox finds a kill. Felcated is inside of the base right now as well. Give that man a killing spree, 45 seconds into the game. Ridiculous start here for Roy. Kyle, just imagine, if he kept up that pace, this is a 50-kill game.
You're right. He would have been on fire there. He's got so many kills to open this up. Extremely hot start here for Roy. But even with all that action, Flag gets out the window, but doesn't even hit that halfway mark. And already a return here for Ronin.
Yeah, that was a good start, but
not good enough.
Not good enough. In the end, it didn't really matter for Evil Geniuses, unfortunately, as L-Town now has the light rifle. It is. Right? Roy is no shields as L-Town is pegging him with some serious damage right there from across the map. And I gotta say, honestly, the way that the teams have been shooting today, they are shooting very, very well.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to get a tally of how many perfects we saw here today, because you can just tell these players' shots are on fire. This is the level of skill of these participants here in the Pro League, and we will see exactly how this one plays out here momentarily.
Lunchbox, he's coming in with the flank. Is he going to be able to land on the shots on the L-Town? Very interesting to see that L-Town stays alive throughout all of that. I can't believe that Lunchbox wasn't able to find the kill. We're going to switch on over to Sabinator and see what he has in store. Railgun is on the map, and he's going to be able to grab it. Keep in mind, Roy had it previously and went on a ridiculous spree. Tapping buttons, he's shooting a couple of railguns over towards top center because that camouflage player could potentially be up there. Finds the kill onto Suspector. Lunchbox finds another one. Evil Genius is looking solid with the weapons so far, but they need to go in and get the objective done. So now Tapping Buttons is going to rotate and get control of the blue treehouse. I like this play. You always want to control the enemy treehouse in these types of instances. Just needs to get top center with this railgun so he can lay down more fire. He's going to flank in over towards the elbow. Are there players on the flag? There are. Two there for the picking if he can get them, but Sabinator with the lunge somehow clearing out Roy. Tapping Buttons getting the double, but I'd be shocked if that flag made it any further.
Yeah, and as we're watching here, Roy the Lion, his gamer tag immediately pushing out of the base. They're still tied up 0-0, and we will see how the rest of this game plays out. At 8:53 left to play here on the clock.
All right, and Roy, he's laying down some more fire over here from the porch side of things. Where is he going to push, though? Has a player top center, has another player in his own treehouse. I'd like to see Roy maybe make his own way towards top center, but instead he's playing a little bit of a defensive stand, just waiting for information to fly in right now on the side of Evil Geniuses. There's a player right in front of him. That's going to be L-Town. Tapping Buttons is having himself a game. Going to quickly check the stats right there. 13 kills for Tapping Buttons. What a turn of events for him and Roy. Still no flags on the map quite yet.
Yeah, and as you can see here, 8 minutes left to play. Nobody's been able to get anything on the board here quite yet. And the stream will be back up here in 30 seconds or so as it is starting once again. Falcatty gets taken out, and luckily for us, nobody's been able to get anything going here for either squad. So we're basically just starting off a CTF Fathom with 8 minutes to play.
Hey guys, welcome to the stream. CTF Fathom, game number 3. And it looks like as soon as you tune in, Ronin's already running a flag. In case you missed it, we'll highlight a little of what happened in the previous, I guess, 5 minutes here. Is Evil Geniuses had a control of the map for a majority of the time. They just haven't been able to put flags on the board, excuse me. Plenty of slays, especially for Tapping Buttons, especially for Roy. Both of these guys had ridiculous killing sprees with the railgun, but still 0-0 overall.
Yeah, 0-0. Camo here in the hands of Lunchbox. So yeah, just back and forth action top. Since a lot of people here are just now being able to watch the stream again, why don't you give us a quick update? Well, we'll take a look at the stats here, obviously, in a little bit, but 7 minutes left to play on the board. Camo about to run out for Lunchbox, about 25% left on that one. He's taking some damage, though, and will be taken out. Tapping Buttons, he's still got a railgun in his hands. We'll see with 1 shot left if he's able to put this to use and help get this flag returned for EG.
Tapping Buttons hasn't been missing many railguns this entire game, so I'd be surprised to see him blow it here on this last shot, especially when it's a very important one with your flag sitting at that 50-yard line in your own pit. Doesn't want to push on the return quite yet. It's slowly but surely ticking away. Ronin, they're going to give up on that one. Tapping Buttons does enough to go and get that return. Hops on it, hops right back off, and you could see it get ticked down all the way. Very conservative with this last railgun, as he should be. He doesn't have very much information right now. Not a lot of shots being fired from Ronin. They're not throwing any grenades. They're kind of just setting up defensive posture with 2 players in their own flag, another player over towards top center. And heck, I don't even know where this 3rd guy is, and our 4th guy is, and I have player outlines. There he is, L-Town with the sneaky flank.
And Tapping Buttons, he's had this railgun in his back pocket for quite some time. Only 1 shot left. He must have charged this thing up 10 times and finally works out, puts it to use, and picks up a kill onto Suspector.
Yeah, he's having one heck of a game so far. Curious to see how many kills he's going to end it with. But we all know it's about getting those flags on the board, and they just haven't been able to do it quite yet. Still outslaying Ronin, but still not even able to get it past the 50-yard line. Now's the opportunity. They have the spawns in their favor. Camo's sitting there. Another player in the flag running it. Players are spawning over towards the elbow. They have to run it away from that area, which is not ideal. You want players to spawn over towards that silo area. Another flag pulled, another flag returned from Ronin while Evil Geniuses has control.
We'll see if Tapping Buttons is able to put this camo to use. Takes 1 player, no shields, picks up a kill on a 2nd second one, grabs himself another perfect kill. That is 3 dead here. Now last player is over by the garage. Tapping Buns, if he's able to stay alive here, this is going to be prime position to run this flag. We'll see all 4 members of Ronin are now back alive, but Tapping Buns pushes around the corner a hair early and gets taken out. So 2 dead now for EG as they're still trying to push this flag. They've got to be extremely careful that 1, they can still push this flag, and 2, not give up a counter capture here to Ronin.
Nice job by Falcated, keeping a majority of his shields. Can he weaken the other player? Not enough to take him down to no shields. That should be the return, and it is coming in for Evil Geniuses. This has to be a heartbreaking turn of events. They have maintained control almost the entire game, and yet they still are down 1-0. L-Town punching that one in. Great job by Ronin.
Yeah, just an amazing job, able to relay that flag here with this series being tied up and so much on the line as far as these standings go. These next few flag captures are just going to be so crucially important here. A lot of action happening in Engine. Tapping Buns stays alive, helps secure 2 kills in Engine, and picks up a 3rd one.
Tap those buttons, man. Tap those buttons. That was ridiculous. But still, it doesn't matter. No flags on the board yet for Evil Geniuses. You can get all the kills in the world, but if you're not able to execute on the objective, it means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and not only that, there's a bad time to try to move that flag and go down, because that railgun came up, and it is in the hands of Nemesis, and he is already putting it to use.
Let's see what Suspector has in store right now as he's anchoring on his own porch. We did see Evil Geniuses do this earlier. Well, I guess you guys missed it, but Evil Geniuses was anchoring a lot, and we feel like that's one of the reasons why they weren't able to push in and get aggressive over towards the enemy flag right now. So we'll see if it pays off for Suspector. It's a little bit different when there's only 3.5 minutes on the clock and you already have the lead.
Yeah, absolutely here. So just over 3 minutes left to play and only a 1 flag capture lead. Map control over in favor of Evil Geniuses. You can see 2 players over in Blue Treehouse, another one top center. You can see them. Great shots by Falcated, picks up a perfect kill. Roy's into a battle with L-Town, wins that one. So that is 3 dead. Nobody's running the flag here quite yet. Members are coming off spawn. Now it is too late to try to push out. Lunchbox has got to wait for some help. Wisely backs down. 3 members alive for Ronin, but they do recognize they're keeping them all trapped in the base here.
Yeah, Nemesis with a big double kill right there. That's gonna split the map, make that a triple kill as he's gonna take down Tapping Buttons. Great job by Nemesis with the defensive stand. We'll see where the aggression is gonna come in. Are they gonna push over towards Falcated? Seems like Falcated thinks so as he's sitting there crouching inside of the enemy treehouse. That grenade rips his shields off. Wow, another grenade coming in from L-Town. Fantastic prediction.
Nemesis gets some help from another teammate. That is going to be enough to take down Tapping Buns, who was trying to lock down that top mid control. Just over 2 minutes to play. Most of Evil Geniuses is coming off spawn in their own engine. Nemesis wisely backing down here. And it looks like Evil Geniuses, they're for the most part just avoiding their own treehouse and trying to just overload Blue Treehouse over here. Nemesis on a flank, sees that player show up on radar as he's sprinting across the map. Tapping Buns has to try to avoid some of these shots here. Doesn't know where the player is, walks right back into the shots, and killing spree for Nemesis.
He's having himself a big end game right here. Can Ronin close this one out? They had a ridiculous game number 2 in Regret Slayer. Evil Geniuses still trying to find that big series win. Can Falcated put it on his back right now after that double kill with the railgun? It's going to be up to him because Sabinator, he squeaks away with that camouflage. Can he dodge the grenade? No. Falcated still doing work. We got to find this man's point of view.
Yeah, Falcated's got 2 pistols here in his pocket. Grabs a perfect kill on top of that. This is amazing performance here from Falcated in this Fathom CTF. He is doing everything he can to relay this flag.
Such a tough spot in Fathom when you want to run the flag as fast as possible, but at the same time, you need to wait for your shields to recharge. Falcated, if he would have just waited a split second longer, he would have had full shields. He would have got that flag just a little bit further. Instead, the flag gets returned. Another heartbreaking return for Evil Geniuses. Ronin, 45 seconds left to run this clock out.
All right, now we're on here board with L-Town. 40 seconds left to play. We'll see if they choose to be aggressive or just kind of play some defense. Big 1v1 kill going over to Falcated. He will be cleaned up. So that is 3 dead. They need to be running this flag, and they need to kill this guy in Garage. Sure enough, they pick up that kill. Can they get around the corner with the flag? Lunchbox is going to start relaying that one. A little bit of a slip up. I hope that doesn't come back to bite them there. 2 dead, so they still have the numbers advantage. And sure enough, 15 seconds left, Tom, and they're going to tie it up.
Wow, Evil Geniuses. I don't know if they're just toying with Ronin or what's going on. Did they decide, hey guys, let's start going for the flag at the final 15 seconds of the game? Seems to work out for them. Maybe they should have applied that type of pressure the entire game. So many times they've gone in to run the flag, but so many times their flag guy has died because they haven't regained their shields. That's why I love the fact that Lunchbox slow played that one when he was running it.
Ooh, and Suspector gets cleaned up by a great double team bait and switch action here coming out of Evil Geniuses. So 2.5 minutes left to play. We are in overtime. That camo is going to be coming up any second. This is the time that a lot of teams forget to grab that because it switches over to the even minute now. But Roy, he gets taken out. So there's numbers over here towards Ronin. You can see the flags being pushed. We'll see if that's going to work out. It's a little bit scary because this is the last time you want to be giving up any kind of counter pulls.
Well, this flag is bottom center. Evil Geniuses, they could go for the return, but I would have loved to see them overextend behind Ronin. Think that Ronin was going to get the flag and bait that flag bottom center to go and get a flag capture of their own. Unfortunately for them, that is not the play that happened. And now Ronin resets the map. You could see all of the players from Evil Geniuses running around to get into the red treehouse, excuse me. Meanwhile, Roy, he's gonna go and control blue treehouse. That's a big kill from Altown onto Tapping Buttons. Tapping Buttons was coming in for the flank, and now Altown forces another player to drop towards the bottom area of the map. That's going to be Roy with the battle rifle and camouflage. So this is Evil Genius's opportunity to go and do something. If Roy had a grenade, this guy would be dead. The plasma grenade comes in. It's not enough damage. Nemesis just dipsy doodling over here, trying to stay alive as long as possible. Twin brother Lunchbox is going to drop him. Now this flag is being ran, but this is what's happened to Evil Geniuses. They get the flag out, and then they all drop. It is so unfortunate. Again, another flag return right in front of their faces. That flag could have went in.
Yeah, I think that was Tapping Buns. Just took too long top center, kind of dilly-dallying around. He should have recognized somebody was jumping on that flag return. I think that was a cap had he grabbed that flag and just meleeed the guy with it to secure that kill. But a big kind of misstep there from Tapping Buttons, and that might allow, if a team doesn't put this in the next 45 seconds or so, we're going to be looking at a full replay.
Full replay on Fathom CTF. So difficult to get those flags out. That's why it's so surprising to see Evil Geniuses pull it off in that desperation situation. But hey, they tend to do it right at this last couple of seconds mark, and they're on the verge of doing it again. They have one player alive right there. All they got to do is land the melee. Where are the spawns? They're not over towards the silo. That means Elbow. All they got to do is watch this flag guy's back, and they're not doing it. Meanwhile, Roy, he wants to go for a swim, but it's not time for that. It's time to end the game. Can Altown get the return? Good grenade. Can they get the touch? You got to get the touch, Lunchbox. Get the flag in there. There it is.
And that's it. There's not enough time to relay that flag across the map. So Evil Geniuses comes out and takes game number 3 with a capture with 15 seconds left in regular time, and then with 10 seconds left in overtime. Crucial win for Evil Geniuses in this game number 3.
Did that just happen?
Yeah.
Wow. Evil Geniuses, there you go. Finally pulling out the big W that they need, but it's not over for them. They need to apply themselves in just one more game, but they have 2 to do it with after winning game number 3. Let's take a look at the stats. Falcated, 38, 18, and 21. Tapping Buttons, 37, 21, and 22.
How heavy?
29 and 19. Only player going negative was Lunchbox, but he had 22 assists. You could just see how badly Ronin got outslayed. It's a miracle that they were able to even come close to winning that game, which they were 15 seconds away from doing twice.
You're right. You're exactly right. They were so close. And looking at that stat line, I'd predict like a 4-0 Fathom CTF, if that was even possible to go that many flag captures. But being outslayed that much and the game being so close, Two things. One, EG, they can slay. That's good news. Two, they really need to work on their objective efficiency because you cannot continue that kind of slaying power without capturing those flags. You will not be able to do that against some of the higher seeded teams.
Well, they can brush it off here and say, hey guys, let's go into this next game type, which is Empire Strongholds, and just try to do slaying work. Because if you're out slaying people that badly in Empire Strongholds, there is zero chance that the game's going to be that close. Like I said, it is a miracle, the fact that Ronin was able to stay that close. I mean, I didn't even realize how one-sided it was. I knew that tapping buttons was going off. I didn't realize how big Falcated was going.
Yeah, that's absurd to have that many kills and just have the game that close. And it's not like they had 10 almost flag captures. They really only had 1 or 2 other flags that had any kind of realistic expectations of actually being captured. Most of the time, it was thrown out the window and then never touched again. So just amazing overall performance from Ronin to keep that one that close. But then again, props to Evil Geniuses for having that kind of slaying power.
That's true. So like we said, moving into game number 4, it is a Strongholds because we just did see a CTF, and game number 1 was Strongholds overall. Game number 5, if it goes to a game number 5, I believe was Truth Slayer, which would be a very intense game to end the final day here in the 2017 Fall Pro League. I want to see it go to game 5. I know Evil Geniuses and their fans, they want to get this win and secure that 6th seed because, again, whoever is the 6th seed sets themselves up for a little bit easier of a bracket and a little bit more money as well. And they know they're going to take those advantages when they can get them.
Oh, absolutely. Here in Empire Strongholds, one of the fastest paced games that we have here, basically followed up by the fastest paced CTF game that we have. We'll see just with such a small space and being able to come off spawn and immediately start nading bottom center or thrust slide into and contest one of the side bases. We'll see if Evil Geniuses can keep that momentum up. They're looking to close this one out and continue maintaining their 5th seed while Ronin still battling this one out, looking to send it to a game number 5.
All right, guys, trying to get a little bit of a lobby glitch fixed, but once we do that, we're going to hop into this game number 4. Hopefully get this resolved fairly shortly, but what a game we just saw. I'm accepting this invite right now just to keep you guys posted. I can't believe that they were able to do it twice in a row. 15 seconds left in the first one. I think, again, 15 seconds left in that second capture.
Or less.
Yeah, or less. I thought we were going to go and definitely see a full replay right there. And when it goes to a full replay and you've outslayed the team so much, it leaves a lot of question marks there. Like you said, where is the objective efficiency coming in for Evil Geniuses? But their shots are on point right now. We switched to Falcated's point of view after he dropped down after that amazing double or triple kill. Immediately perfect shots onto the player that was sitting into the small door. This guy is on fire right now.
Yeah, he really is. He's definitely stepping up for this Evil Geniuses squad, and we'll see if he can continue this momentum heading into this Empire Strongholds, which is a map where, like we pointed out before, Tom, we don't have many power weapons. There's no sniper rifle or rockets on this map, so it's really going to be listening to your coach, making sure you're focusing on the power-ups and you're executing or, putting 2 people in these strongholds, because the last thing you want to be doing is committing something solo, going to a base, and then end up dying before you secure that stronghold, and that's where things really start to kind of steamroll out of control, and it's hard to kind of grab your footing once again.
Exactly, and once this initial start happens, that's the big key here for Evil Geniuses. If they can get their footing, if they can get the overshield, if they can get the camouflage, if they can get the pit, you're going to see them flying on all cylinders. They've been waiting for a moment like this to apply themselves for quite some time. So much practice, hours and hours upon hours of practice, going in just for 1 or 2 hours a week when you really have to shine. Evil Geniuses, they've shined. They've gone up and down. Again, they have to close this series out. It is so important for them to beat a team around their same skill level, around their same rank, and get that confidence going into Denver.
Yeah, and keep in mind that their rank is on the line here in this series, so there is no room for error. And you pointed out multiple times before, the top 4 teams here in Pro League are extremely scary, so you got to kind of pick your poison here. And the last thing you want to do, or the one thing you can be certain of, is you don't want to match up against Optic or Envy, especially after how strong they've been playing in the last few weeks.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And sitting right after there, you got Splice and you have Team Liquid too, all very scary teams. So that's why it's urgent for these teams to go and handle business and, again, maintain confidence or gain confidence and momentum moving forward into Denver. It's not an easy thing to do. Ronin, they're playing at a very high level right now, and and Evil Geniuses, they are making mistakes objectively, but this is a different game type, different map here, and again, if they are outslaying nearly as close as they were in Fathom, then Empire should be a breeze for them.
All right, and we're going to take just a couple minutes here while we get the lobby situation underway here. We will be going into a game number 4, so make sure you don't go anywhere, and when we come back, we will have what happens in this last and final series. All right, and welcome back one more time.
One more time.
All right, we should be able to get everything underway here. We've got the players set up in the lobby, and this game is kicking underway. We are looking at Stronghold's Empire. And if you are new to the stream, it is going to be Evil Geniuses going up against Ronin. EG is in the lead 2-1 in this series and looking to close it out right here.
Here it is, guys. The long and anticipated wait is over. Here it is, Empire Strongholds game number 4. Is this the final game of the HCS 2017 Fall Pro League regular season? We don't know. It's up to Ronin to try to put up a fight and push this to a game number 5. Starting it off with Roy, who, unfortunately for Evil Geniuses, not able to get that overshield. The ninja antics, while as cool as they looked, not going to pay off.
Yeah, and you can see nobody from Evil Genius is giving enough attention to that overshield, and then Tapping Buns getting cleaned up as he grabbed that camo as well. So opening strategy, I'd say, going over to Ronin a little bit. Great stick comes in. Probably would have preferred a backpack. If this guy gets away, that would have been ridiculous here. But we can see kill comes in and gets cleaned up here by Nemesis. First Stronghold is bottom mid, goes over to Ronin here. Now Nemesis, he gets taken no shields, but nobody able to clean up that kill here quite yet. They do have eyes on him though, and as you can see, Roy the Lion closes in and finishes off that kill. First points on the board over to Ronin. Evil Geniuses though looking to answer back.
Big that they got the pit. Now they have blue base as well, so we're going to find out what Lunchbox is going to be able to do to try to get into this one, and that's not the play he was looking for. He's kind of caught in no man's land right there in between both of the strongholds that Ronin controls, and now Falcated, last guy alive. L-Town's starting to push this advantage, going for the triple cap, rightfully so. He's going to drop, and now they're going to trade side bases here. So the triple cap is going to rack up a couple of points, but not that many, as Evil Genius is going to put a band-aid over there towards the blue side of things. Got to rotate on over towards the pit, though. What's going to be the play? One player going to hop in immediately, even though they had one number in their favor, and now they're down 2 players. Make that 3 players. Evil Geniuses, all 4 dead. Not sure what the plan right there was, to just go and fly into the pit without getting that many slays.
Yeah, definitely need to go back and retake a look at that one and pretty much do anything differently than what they did to open that one up. But like you said, stopping the bleeding a little bit, putting another band-aid by securing red base here. And now they need to make sure they get some kills here, as with 1 dead for each team, we are looking at a 3v3.
Gotta slow play this if you're L-Town. Wait for this camouflage because you've already done the damage. There's no way you're going to be able to contest that overshield. Instead, he's going to go in there and try to help out on the players from the turbine. Not sure if he could have got that angle from a different area. Probably could have stayed over towards top security, helped get that kill and get the camouflage. Instead, not sure what's going to happen on the camo side of the map. Sabinator, he's going to get taken down with that green gun combo. You see members from Evil Geniuses making their way on over towards the pit. It's going to be tapping buttons and another player located in behind him. Bafati's starting to fly in. L-Town with the beatdown. Falcated drops in, but the reset has already happened. So Evil Geniuses, they're not long for this world, as Kyle would say, and that's all 4 dead.
Yeah, all 4 dead once again. That's the second time in the last minute we've seen Ronin be able to secure all 4 kills there onto the Evil Geniuses squad. And once again, another triple cap here coming out for Ronin. So Ronin looking extremely strong in this game number 4 here.
It's looking like Suspector's gonna wait out here for members of Evil Geniuses to float over towards the red fan area. Looks like a lot of members for Evil Geniuses flying out there. Great job by Suspector, at least just getting the trade going on. We'll see what happens with the rest of the map, but it looks like L-Town's on the flank, trying to come behind the players that were over there. He's gonna go for the side base. Curious to see if this triple cap's gonna work out, because he has a teammate over there. It doesn't seem like Evil Geniuses is rotated towards the other side. Instead, Lunchbox is trying to end 2 people capping the side base when he's only a single. So it's not going to work out for Lunchbox, but this is the first time Evil Geniuses has contested the pit very nicely. They take that one in a very crucial time. 58 points. You can't allow Ronin to continue to tack on more with the overshield and camo coming out.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we saw EG put 3 dead here for Ronin. Big battle happening. Roy runs out of ammo. Classic Roy moves. We see him run out of ammo more than any other player, I'd say here. But now finally, Evil Geniuses being able to regain control, starting to put some points on the board here once again. But 59-12, we've seen it already here today. But is this Evil Geniuses squad going to have what it takes to get back into it?
Ooh, Roy had his teammate right behind him, but still not able to live. Tapping buttons, he's going to help secure this overshield. Triple cap's in effect, so this is Evil Genius's time to shine, but they're not getting the slays that they need. Where's Lunchbox? There he is. Now it's a 2-on-2 situation. Lunchbox pushing this triple cap. Can he get L-Town out of here and get the reset? He does. Huge plays coming in from Lunchbox. Roy finds a grenade kill as well. And look at this. Now Evil Geniuses is racking up tons of time. Ridiculous comeback. They were down, what, 59-3?
It was something like that. It's reminding me of the Optic series to open up the day here. The fact that they've been able to get all these points back on the board after what was such good play here from Ronin. One little mistake and the opposite team just can keep you on the back foot on respawn, just keep you completely off of your game, and that is what EG is doing here now.
Remember, guys, these are the two teams fighting it out right now in the 6th and 7th spot. They are both tied at 1 and 5. A win for these teams would be huge. Again, not just for the money, not just for the placements here in the Pro League, for your confidence going forward. Evil Geniuses, they have really struggled, like we said, turning the corner. They have not done it quite yet. Now is their time. I feel like they're sensing it. You could see the urgency, the way that they're moving around, the teamwork flying in. Can they hold on to this game?
Yeah, it's a tough tell, but we will see the very first tied part of this game as Evil Genius is getting ready to take the lead. 3 make that 2 dead here for EG, only 1 for Ronin. Bottom mid is being contested very well by these 2 EG members. That's Falcated and Lunchbox working together. Get a little bit of a team nade going there, but it works out because he also does a lot of damage to those 2 members of Ronin here. And 3 dead once again. Evil Geniuses, they're on a 60-point run right now.
Royce not able to control that blue base. That would have been huge for Evil Geniuses. They could have had another triple cap there, but this is the time and point in the game where things matter. 71-59 and counting. Overshield, it's on the map any second here. Camo popping up shortly after that. It looks like Evil Geniuses is able to secure that overshield. Could it be the last one of the Fall Pro League regular season? If Evil Geniuses holds this triple cap, it will be.
All right, now Falcated not able to get anything going. A little over-aggressive on that hill. I would have liked to see him give that up or wait for his teammates here. But no, Roy pushes in right as the stronghold changes hands. That's not what you want to see. Now the opposite side base, blue base, is being taken. So they needed to give up that side base. Oh, luckily big reset comes in and 2 kills go over there in favor of Evil Geniuses as well. Finally, we see Ronin get back into this one. First time putting points on the board in the last 3 to 4 minutes.
But it's unbelievable how late that camouflage was. Suspector picked it up right around the 5:10 mark. Somehow, throughout all of that, EG missed that. That could have been an easy camo in their end. If they're able to grab that, they could have contested the pit and possibly won the game. Instead, Ronin, they got right back into this one. Can they clear out the side base tapping buttons? He couldn't go big enough. It was a very hard situation to be in, but now Suspector's going off. Huge double kill, huge reset of the pit. Roy had to back down. It looked like it could have been a big play for Evil Geniuses, but it's gonna be a couple more pushes here for EG. They have about 3 pushes to go and try to retake this pit. Another option for them is to go for one of these side bases and just try to milk those last 11 points, hoping that Ronin makes some sort of mistake.
Ooh, we'll see Lunchbox pushes on to 2 players over here in Turbine and commits too heavily on 1, and that's 3 dead for Evil Geniuses. And might be looking at a triple cap here for Ronin. Now Evil Geniuses wisely trades bases here. This is exactly what they need to do. And Tom, if they lose this game, it could all come back to them over-committing on that return. They had the overshields, and literally it was because they had overshield that they over-committed to that fight.
And then they didn't get the camo because of that, and then Suspector went huge with that double kill and then weakening Roy. So just big mistakes towards the tail end of the game, and we do see another overshield. This time it goes on over to Suspector in the hands of Ronin right now. Everybody in Evil Genius is desperately making their way on over towards the pit. It's not gonna happen. We're most likely going to a game number 5.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Tom. 94-89. Last last opportunity. They need to get some lucky kills here now. They're trying to flood over into the pit, but I don't know if that's going to work out. 2 go down now for EG. The final seconds of this game. Ronin looking to tie up this series, and sure enough, they're going to be able to do it. Tom, we're ending the Pro League season with a Game 5 series.
Woo! Holy cow, and it's going to be a truth slayer too, so there's not going to be much, slow playing, no camping, just running, gunning, fast-paced Halo 5 action. Let's take a look at these stats and see who was going big. We got Suspector, 18-10, Altown, 18-11, or 13, excuse me, I can't read. And then all of a sudden, it looks like, yes, let's see, 3 very even in kills, but it looks like Ronin slightly outslayed them. Ridiculous amount of assists coming in from Lunchbox, but it's just not enough. The overcommitment, Evil Geniuses, it plagued them in Plaza. I can't believe that they did it in Empire.
Yeah, I can't believe they let that happen. They got the overshield. If they had just given up that base, they literally won the game. But they ran in, got in 2 separate 2v1 situations, one of which was when they had overshield, and Falcated got ground pounded by a no shields player. Just such crucial mistakes. I was thinking in my head, whoever wins this game wins the series, besides the fact that EG wins it, it's over. But I think that is going to be one of those demoralizing losses that we see the Twins and everyone on that team start bickering with each other and can really throw them off. Can they get their minds right here for this Game 5?
Even if they win Game 5, which, the way that they've played this series, you would think that they would. They've been hanging in there in the Slays, and they have way more overall kills over the 4 games combined, especially because CTF Fathom. But you got to be worried about Evil Geniuses, because this is what I'm talking about with this squad. And I love these guys, don't get me wrong, but they struggle closing out series, and they struggle closing out games, and they make huge mental errors towards the tail end of games, whether it's overcommitting towards an objective, over challenging, or just there's no other way to explain it, just complete brain farts.
Yeah, I mean, that was literally one of the worst plays that we saw here today. Not to put any kind of more pressure on them, but they absolutely should have done anything differently there.
All right, starting this one off with Roy. They do get the first strike. They do get that 2-1 lead here, which should give them a little bit of map positioning and the camouflage. Tapping Buttons, he gets taken out. So a great melee there by L-Town. If Tapping Buttons is able to stay alive with that camouflage, who knows what type of spree he could go on.
Yeah, exactly correct there, Tom. So 4-3, 30 seconds into this game. This is game number 5 here, the deciding series to see who is going to take the higher seed between these 2 teams heading into DreamHack Denver.
That is true, Kyle. Let's see what Falcated has in store with us. Keep in mind, this guy, even though he had a little bit of a misplay with that overshield, has had a phenomenal series and a phenomenal day overall. Laying down some nasty shots right there onto L-Town from top of the base to the bubble. Has a couple players over to his side and another player in front of him, so he's pinched, just going to try to stay alive in this bubble as long as possible. You can see all the players from Ronin that want to kill him flying up this slide, flying up this bubble. Somehow, he's staying alive throughout all of this, working with Lunchbox and Roy to pick up 2 kills.
Oh, a big reversal coming out of Suspector here as this series gets all tied up. And then we see Ronin take the lead now. Hoseby or Tapping Buttons over there was taking no shields. Another nice shots by Falcated to grab that one. So constant back and forth action. I wouldn't be surprised if this is neck and neck all the way through, Tom.
Most likely. Let's see what Sabinator is going to do in this situation, because he's caught out no shields trapped inside of his base, which is not a good spot to be in, especially when you look at the player outlines and where Evil Geniuses is located. A guy P2, 2 guys kind of flanking over from the car side, and another guy that's top center. Virtually a perfect setup here for Evil Geniuses. They did a great job collapsing in Regret. Numerous times they had 3 or 4 dead here, and it looks like that's exactly what they're doing again to Ronin. That's going to be 3 dead. And you know what Roy's doing right there, Kyle, is he's flying into the base to trap the spawns and force the spawns out. And now they spawn in the bubble away from him. Roy somehow staying alive right there. Suspect they're going to shut it down with the beatdown.
Yeah, man, I'm actually surprised he got that kill. And what was just 10-9 in favor of Ronin is now 18-12. Evil Genius is taking a 6-kill lead here. Keep in mind what is on the line here for these 2 teams. Tapping Buttons great positioning here, helped secure 2 kills for his team, and now we can see this is the collapse and the aggression Evil Geniuses was looking for in that Fathom, on that Empire stronghold. So you want to be pushing back and forth, but crucial mistakes led to a Game 4 loss.
Falcated with the double, Lunchbox finds one as well. That's the last guy alive right there, tapping buttons, trying to give him the business. Suspector, though, going to answer, and that trade does get right back, though, in the favor of Evil Geniuses. Roy going to find the kill. But look at the positioning that Evil Geniuses continues to maintain throughout this game, Kyle. A guy P2, a guy top center, a guy car side. They are owning so much of this truth real estate. It's like, I don't know, it's like Monopoly when people got Park Place and Boardwalk hotels, man. There's nothing you can do.
You're right, Tom. This is not looking good for Ronin as EG is about to be up double their score as we head into the last 25 kills here in this series. And Tom, I said it before, this is a map, a variation of midship that we've seen Lunchbox and Roy playing on for a decade here. So I think that's why I picked them to take this Game 5.
And they've doubled the kills that Ronin has, 16 to 32. Evil Geniuses, they want to run away with this one, and they're on the verge of doing so. The next camouflage dropping in about 30 seconds here. Falcated in perfect position. Look at the collapse coming in, Kyle, from Evil Geniuses. They are flooding underneath the base, again car side, and again top center. So spread out and doing it almost perfectly.
Yeah, they are playing this on just another level right now. I'm sure they wish they were playing like this in some of these previous games that they dropped here to Ronin, but either way, they are sitting in a comfortable position right now with new camo coming up. We do have one member get taken down. If there is any hope left here for Ronin, it all starts right here with Suspector's camo.
Suspector needs to make some big plays, and he can't afford to play very sneaky either, which is what you want to do when you have the camo, because the amount of pressure Evil Geniuses had throughout this game has been phenomenal. And you could see Suspector, he ran towards his teammates. You don't want to do that when you're camo. You want to go for the long flank. And now he's trying to just do whatever he can to pick off the no shields guys that his teammates left. But look at Evil Geniuses immediately collapsing. All 4 dead. They are not slowing down. Ronin, what do you do here to get back into the game?
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the game, it is hard to think of anything you can do to get back into this one. So many lines of sight. If you gotta just be ridiculous as far as the kills, and you trade a kill, that is not gonna be what you need to get back into this one. You can see Ronin trying their best to slow it down, but collapse is coming from everywhere, and this aggression is just too much for them to handle.
It's crazy to think that when this game started, it was tied up, Kyle. 0-0.
Right, and 10-10 even. And then 45-23 over the last 4.5 minutes or so that we've been seeing these two teams face off.
I'm just curious who is going to be the guy, the MVP at the end of this game number 5. And when I'm watching the way that Falcated has been able to go huge with numerous double kills, I got to give it to him, honestly. Him and tapping buttons, we were waiting for big series from these guys together. They've done great individually, but finally Evil Geniuses putting together a full series, and they take game number 5, 50-25.
I mean, they went 2 for 1 that entire game. A steak dinner to close out the series and prove that's why they deserve the 6th seed and sticking Ronin in 7th.
No doubt about it. They have to be feeling good after that one. And again, another hard-fought series. Very great games today. Everybody putting on a great performance individually and as a team. Evil Geniuses, though, they get that big win. Finally, after winning the first... Ooh, we have a breadstick.
Ooh, Sabinator. He had a good series as well. And that is a heartbreaking way to end the Pro League with a 1-15 performance.
Yeah, gotta let that one soak, most likely in some marinara, because that goes good with breadsticks. But that's a tough one. That's a very tough one.
Exactly. And as you take a look at some of the replays here on your screen, 19-13. Then it went up by 10 here as EG hit the halfway point, and then up by 25 kills to end the game. Ronin just didn't know what hit them this time around.
No doubt about it. The pressure was unstoppable, and it reminded me a lot of the collapses that they had in Regret. And Evil Geniuses have to be proud with the execution that they had there. They have to revisit some of the objective mistakes that they were making. Again, overslaying in Fathom. That's not going to work against another team. That's something that they have to fix going into Denver. And then in Empire and just in Strongholds in general, they always make the mistake, especially towards the tail end of the games, of overcommitting to a triple cap that they don't need.
Yeah, and of course, literally just opening up the door for Ronin and sending into a game number 5. I mean, anything. EG should have closed that out in 3, if anything. Game number 2 going over there to Ronin. And then, of course, crucial mistakes that lost them the game in game number 4. And then game number 5, can't really say enough good things about what EG was able to do. Yeah,
no doubt about it. They have to be stoked. And that's why these wins at the end of the Pro League on this final day are so important, because you can go and carry that over and you don't have to have that, bad taste in your mouth. But again, on the other end of things, the teams that did lose today, they need to use that as motivation going forward to try to better themselves into Denver.
Yeah, of course, this is Pro League, but what really counts is going to be DreamHack Denver, and that's what all these teams are preparing for, and that's what this entire season leads into here, that $200,000 tournament here in Denver.
Yeah, and I want to see if anyone from Evil Geniuses is available for an interview so we can get these guys on the line. But I want to ask them a couple of questions pertaining to the series, and especially I want to find out how good it feels for these guys after having such a rough 5 matches in a row, finally to be able to put it together towards the tail end. It's just very interesting to me that they win the first and the last match. I'm not sure if it's a matchups type of thing or anything like that, but it has to feel good for these guys to move out from that bottom, that 7th, 8th area, and secure their 6th spot.
All right, and we do have an interview here with Roy from Evil Geniuses. Roy, thank you so much for joining us. Interesting series, but a great way to close it out. Now, walk us through that game number 4, because what looked like you guys were going to take it seemed to be some crucial mistakes towards the end of that game.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a lot of chokes towards the tail end of that game, especially probably not getting the last, I think, 2 OSs really cost us. They took control of the map, and then, like most strongholds, they're pretty swingy, so you can string together 50 points, and then the other team can do the same. So we couldn't really get control back and didn't really make a coordinated push.
And so what did you guys do between Game 4 and Game 5 here to come out so strong in that True Slayer and have your largest margin of victory yet?
More or less just play kind of angry and fast. We definitely were really disappointed not winning Game 4. We felt like we played pretty well throughout the first maybe 3/4 of the game and then didn't really close the game out. So going into Truth, we just really wanted to work together a little bit better and be a little bit more coordinated. And we kind of kept them on a good spawn cycle.
All right, Borg, so you guys win the first Pro League match and you guys win the last Pro League match. What happened in between, and what's it going to take for you guys to turn that corner that you need to turn?
Yeah, I mean, we played some of the tougher teams throughout the middle of the Pro League, so credit the teams that we lost to. I feel like we played pretty well against Navintic and then also against Ronin tonight. Moving forward, really, I think it's going to come down to consistent practice for us, just playing maybe 3, 4, 5 nights in a row. That'll definitely going to allow us to keep improving and moving in the right direction and maybe finally breaking over that hump for the first time in a while.
Yeah, well, Roy, we definitely are wishing you guys the best heading into DreamHack Atlanta. We see you are at that Xfinity training facility here. Definitely thanks for taking time out of your day to join us. I know it is extremely late for you, and you probably have to work in the morning, so we won't keep you any longer here. But congratulations, and I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks here.
Thanks, guys. Great job as always.
Appreciate it. Our Evil Geniuses, they did it. And as Roy said, the matchups were definitely a big thing to take into consideration. If they were able to win that series against LG, maybe we're talking about EG potentially being that 5th team to go and try to push in over towards that top 4. All of these teams, though, they have the skill. They have what it takes. It's just a matter of applying themselves. But there are a couple of weeks to get prepared for Denver, so I can't wait to see the improvements that all of these guys make.
Yeah, and I can't believe, Tom, that the fall season is coming to a conclusion. Kind of a little bumpy road in that last series, but we made it through and Evil Geniuses took down Ronin. So let's go ahead and take a look at today's schedules with the scores and see how week 7 or match day 7 played out. We had opened the day with a game number 5, Envy over Splice, 3-1 Optic over Liquid, another back-to-back game 5s to close out. So we had all 3-0s last week, Tom. Today was not the case. Optic Gaming upsetting the all 3-2 series.
Come on, Optic and Liquid. You're just throwing off the whole feng shui of the Pro League here on the final day. We want a bunch of 3-2s, but seriously, shout out to all the players. Shout out to everybody that watched. Big shout out to ESL343. All of the tweets that you guys have rolled in, everything in general, we appreciate all of your support. It's been a blast to cast this ride with you.
Yeah, it absolutely has, Tom. Pleasure as always. Now, what really matters is let's go ahead and take a look at the standings with the conclusion of today's matches. Envy, Optic, Liquid, Splice, not really a surprise there to anyone at home watching. And then Luminosity, Evil Geniuses clutches the 6th spot, Ronin, and then Naventic here closing out the top 8. Now, of course, like we said, these are going to be the seeds heading into DreamHack Denver. That is going to be our next stop, October 20th to the 22nd. You can head to the link at the bottom of your screen, halo.gg/DreamHack Denver, to find out all the information about attending the event. Now, of course, if you want to sign up and compete yourselves, make sure you head over to the links at the bottom of your screen, find out information, or pick up the tickets there and get your Halo Team Pass in order to compete. And if you're at home wondering about the free-for-all, those will be on-site registration there, and there'll be more announcements about that very shortly to come here. So, I mean, obviously, Tom, it's been a pleasure here casting. So glad to have you out here for another season of Pro League. And that essentially wraps up the HCS Pro League Fall 2017 season. Thank you so much for joining us. Elamite and T2 checking out here. So GG's and good night.